Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to a new episode of Around the World. The year 2022 is over and we have entered the year 2023. But governments around the world are concerned due to the predictions made by experts regarding the economy in 2023. Why are we saying so? We are saying so because economic experts have predicted that the world might have to face a severe recession in 2023. Actually, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva has stated that 2023 is going to be more difficult than 2022, and the US, the European Union, and China's economies might slow down. The IMF has stated that 1/3 of the global economy could be in the grip of recession in 2023. The IMF presented the growth outlook of the global economy for 2023 in October last year. In this growth outlook, China's growth rate in 2022 was estimated to be 3.2%. However, China's growth rate was set to increase to 4.4% in 2023. But since then, there is a continuous decline in global economic activities. In today's episode, we will talk about the debates going on regarding the recession. We will know why a recession is being predicted in 2023. We will also know about the countries which will be affected by a recession. In the end, we will also know the condition of India's economy. First of all, let us know about the recession in brief. Economic recession is a vicious cycle of the economy in which the economic growth of a country stops and the pace of development of the country slows down. If the GDP growth rate of a country remains negative for 2 consecutive quarters, that is, it decreases instead of increasing, then it is said that the country is in recession. When a situation of recession arises, then the industries and businesses get destroyed and unemployment starts increasing rapidly. In such a scenario, people's purchasing power decreases and overall the purchasing power of the country also decreases. If the recession lasts long enough, then businesses and banks fail. However, the government tries to help the economy by releasing more money in the market to break this cycle so that the purchasing power of the people can be increased. Now the question remains why a recession is being predicted as soon as this year has started. If we look back at recent years, then things have not been good at all over the world. In late 2019, the COVID pandemic started spreading across the world. During COVID, situations like lockdowns and restrictions were created all over the world. As a result, industries got closed, jobs got dried up, and economy's wheel came to a standstill. Then, in early 2022, the Russia-Ukraine war started. Although most countries of the world have managed to bear the consequences of this war, there are many countries where inflation is still skyrocketing. Daily needs goods are becoming expensive due to rising inflation. Many countries of the world are getting adversely affected. According to the report, in the last decade, Pakistan's inflation has reached its zenith. Last year, Pakistan also had to face severe floods. Consequently, the citizens of Pakistan are facing challenges in earning their livelihoods. Inflation has also reached its record level in the Southeast Asian country Philippines. The Philippines government is failing to feed the growing population. Experts hold that the world economy was already in peril due to COVID, and the Ukraine crisis added fuel to the fire. Due to the Ukraine crisis, inflation has become uncontrollable not only in Pakistan or the Philippines, but all over the world. Another reason for inflation all over the world is the high interest rates on loans. Actually, central banks around the world have increased interest rates to control rising inflation. Due to the high interest rates, both the common people and businesses are facing challenges. When a bank lends at higher interest rates, then the loan becomes costlier. In such a scenario, when a person has to invest in the industry, then he invests less due to expensive loans. That is, the expansion of the industry also becomes less. Investors may withdraw money from the economy due to lack of prospects for economic growth. In such a scenario, poor countries may run short of cash for imports. CEBR, that is, Center for Economics and Business Research, also believes that the world may be affected by a recession in 2023 due to the effect of interest hikes in 2022. Many economies have been predicted to shrink due to high interest rates. According to CEBR, the global economy crossed the $100 trillion mark in 2022, but it is expected to decline in 2023. Therefore, it has to be understood that when the economy of weak countries is affected by the economic recession, then the value of their currency decreases in comparison to the currency of a strong economy. Obviously, the difficulties of poor countries will increase due to the decline in their currency's value. Recently, our neighboring country Sri Lanka went bankrupt due to excessive debts. Now similar speculations are being made about Pakistan as well. Countries like Pakistan and Sri Lanka are forced to pay more interest due to expensive loans. For the past several decades, the poor countries of the Asia-Pacific region have been dependent on China for their financial needs. These countries seek financial support from China to handle their economy. China provides loans to these countries at high interest rates by taking advantage of their financial problems. Later, it becomes difficult for these countries to repay their debts. Another reason for the forecast of recession in 2023 is that COVID cases are increasing significantly in China. It is being said that the global economy is also under pressure due to the fear of COVID pandemic. According to a BBC report, China's official Purchasing Managers Index was released in December 2022, and as per this index, manufacturing activities in China have decreased for the third consecutive month. It is being claimed that the recent decline is the fastest decline in the past 3 years. It is believed that factory production in China has been affected due to increase in COVID cases. Therefore, in view of Kristalina Georgieva's statement, it is being speculated that China's global growth estimates could be cut further. According to media reports, superpowers like the US and Britain may have to face a bigger recession than in 1930. In Europe, Italy and Germany, these are likely to be hit hardest by the recession. Several Middle Eastern countries such as Lebanon are already facing an economic crisis. Hence, the IMF has issued a recession warning. Amidst all these apprehensions, the question is, what is India's condition? Amidst the forecast of recession in the world, India's position is also being said to be critical. Economists are of the view the condition of the unorganized sector in India is not good after GST, lockdown, and NBFC crises in the country. Due to the decline in unorganized sectors, the demand has shifted towards the organized sector. As a result, the income of the people has decreased, which has led to a decrease in the demand for goods. Furthermore, India's exports have also increased due to the low demand for Indian goods abroad, and as a result, the balance of payment has deteriorated. Consequently, India is facing a current account deficit. It is being claimed that exports, which alone contribute to 20% of India's GDP, which is already headed towards a weak state, will be further weakened due to the global recession. Experts believe that at present India is spending more than its income. Both the current account deficit and the fiscal deficit are rising rapidly, which is a matter of grave concern. It remains to be seen what measures will be adopted by the countries of the world, including India, to avoid the recession in 2023. Now we come to the next segment of the Sunday special episode of Around the World. In this segment, we will talk about the other significant international news. Burkina Faso is struggling with political instability lately. Protesters in Burkina Faso are targeting cultural centers and military bases, including the French embassy. The protesters are demanding that France should leave Burkina Faso. Consequently, the government of Burkina Faso has asked the French government to call back its ambassador. Furthermore, the government of Burkina Faso has accused France of helping ousted military leader Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba to plan a counterattack. Actually, a coup was carried out in Burkina Faso in September 2022. At that time, Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba was ousted from power. The dispute that erupted after Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir's wrongful entry into the Al-Aqsa Mosque complex is not coming to an end. This issue has become a religious as well as an international issue. For this purpose, the United Arab Emirates and China have called an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Since the Al-Aqsa Mosque complex is considered to be a holy site for Muslims, Ben-Gvir's move has been strongly condemned in Muslim countries such as Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates. The Al-Aqsa Mosque complex is known by Muslims as Al-Haram Al-Sharif, and it is known as Temple Mount by Jews. The complex is managed by the Jordanian-funded Waqf, and the complex's security is handled by Israel. The entire world is concerned after hearing the news of an extreme rise in COVID cases in China. All the countries of the world have issued guidelines for COVID prevention. But the one common thing in these guidelines is that all these countries, including India and US, must have COVID testing mandatory for people coming from China. In addition, some countries, namely Britain, the US, France, Italy, and European Union have also imposed restrictions on passengers coming from China. Actually, China has given relaxation in its zero COVID policy lately. As a result, there has been an increase in the movement of passengers from China. Notably, China's zero COVID policy was widely opposed by the citizens of China just a few days ago. That's all in this episode. Let's note down the question based on today's story. What is an economic recession? Why the International Monetary Fund has issued a recession warning.